17-year-old Carlos Hallowell from Citrus County was taken to police headquarters after making an urgent 911 call at 6:15 p.m.
Florida, what's wrong with y'all?
It's 911. What is the address of the emergency?
4419 Southwest Sports. I need someone here immediately right now.
Okay, tell me exactly what's happening.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
He reported a terrifying scene. His mother, Denise Hallowell, lay in bed with an axe lodged in her head.
Damn.
Just stay on the line with me, okay?
Okay.
Emergency responders arrived to find a deeply distressed Carlos. His mother was unresponsive and was declared deceased at 6:50 p.m. Denise Hallowell adopted Carlos from Guatemala in 2006 when he was just 4 years old. She raised him on her own. Fast forward to July 13, 2019, both she and Carlos attended a family friend's funeral in St. Petersburg. After returning home to their secluded lakeside house, they shared apple pie in the kitchen before taking afternoon naps. 3 hours later, Carlos was on the phone with 911. Denise was found face down on her bed,
What did she say to you, Carlito, made you do that?
lifeless. The investigation has been classified as a homicide. To find Denise Hallowell's killer, the police are working swiftly to collect evidence before any leads fade. In the interrogation room, detectives question Carlos about what happened, as he was the last person to see his mother alive.
I hear barking from my side of the house, which is abnormal. Our dogs are supposed to be in that little fenced-in area. So the front door was wide open. So went to go find the dogs, checked around the property looking for them. I couldn't find them, so I went to go wake my mom up to help me find them, and then I found her there.
So what did you see when you walked in your mom's room?
It was our axe in the side of my mom's room, and
Now, did she just raise a spoiled child that didn't get what he wanted and ended up smoking her? Or did she adopt that boy and abuse him to the point where he smoked her? This is the question. So we shall see.
can still hear her trying to breathe.
The detectives are currently uncertain about the situation. They must quickly uncover the events that transpired in the house. Simultaneously, they need to approach the situation with caution to avoid causing additional trauma to the young man who has lost his mother.
My mom and I and we've been through a lot together, so, I mean, there's nothing I wouldn't do for her or anything. So, I just don't know what happened.
Obviously, we're not looking at an accidental situation here, right?
No, I don't think she accidentally, knocked over an axe and it landed square on the side of her head.
Put an axe in the back of her head. Who would have done that?
I don't know anybody. All my mom's
That kid should have been an actor. He's a natural. He's doing his thing right there.
anything.
Except for the fact that he don't seem shook about his mama being axed down.
This is the only people that I know.
She don't have any enemies.
Not that I know of. She
Would.
kept to herself. So,
You guys are kind of out there in the middle.
yeah, we're in
Nowhere.
we're in the middle of nowhere. We just keep to ourselves. We put signs up because we've had small intruders and then we hear noises at night. So she just puts all that stuff up for safety. So I don't know.
She hasn't had any problems with anybody.
Not that I know of. She also stays private from me as well. I only know what I need to know.
Carlos is remarkably composed for someone who has
Super
just
composed.
discovered their mother deceased with an axe in her.
Exactly. He's not shook up at all, which is the flaw in his acting technique, because he's not shook up at all. But he's answering thoroughly. She raised an astute young man.
Head. The detectives already view this as suspicious. For now, the detectives are focused on the facts and are working through Carlos's version of events in fine detail. If his story can be verified, Citrus County Police will have the confidence to focus elsewhere.
You guys walk in. You guys have pie. What did you guys have pie at? Right on the dinner table. Dinner table. Plastic plates, silverware, or what? No, we just ate right But out of the box, we just eat a slice, save it, we save it. Because we're used to kind of living paycheck to paycheck because of a teacher and being a single parent. So we make things last, and she doesn't get paid for this.
Gotcha. So you guys are done at the dining table. What do you guys do with the pies?
Put them in the fridge, and then we parted ways. We both decided to take our naps. She went into her room, I went into mine, and I watched a couple of things on YouTube and fell asleep. And
How to swing an axe effectively is the tutorial he watched on YouTube.
Again, and texted people and fell back to sleep. Usually we stay in there for about 2 or 3 hours to give ourselves time. It's our own separate time throughout the day.
So you don't know if she left to go anywhere else or something?
I don't. I usually don't know. I'm a heavy sleeper, and I sleep on that side of the house. Her car's where the garage is, so I usually can't hear it, or nor do I know. I usually have something playing in the background to help me fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. You remember at any time, what time you went to bed or take a nap?
No. The only thing I remember was waking up to the dog barking next to my room, which was odd.
Did you try to give your mom any type of aid?
I didn't know what to do. I just shook her. Wasn't responsive except just breathing. I don't know what to do, and I didn't want to do something stupid or take it out. She bleeds to death or something.
Detectives now believe that Carlos isn't being truthful.
You're lying.
Given the severity of Denise's injury, it's
Damn.
implausible that she could still be breathing, as Carlos claimed.
Right.
By that time, she would likely have already...
Right. I don't know. I don't know if these fools Photoshop this or these are the actual x-rays, but she's not gurgling, she's not breathing, she's not doing nothing at this point. That's it. That done split the whole thing in half.
passed away. Investigators are now pressing Carlos for a thorough account of the events leading to his mother's death.
So your mom went to her room and now came out and went back to her room again?
Yeah, she does that all the time. She'll get up, get tea, she'll get up, get water, do whatever. And she doesn't always deep sleep like I do. She's a restless sleeper. She hears that.
Mikey 01, he isn't saying anything about her treating him, so I'm guessing he was spoiled and didn't get his way. Quite possible. Listen, I don't put nothing past kids. I don't put nothing past anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's quite possible that he's just a spoiled kid, didn't get his way, but he ain't gonna volunteer that information until he cops to the fact that he did it. Until they tell him, listen, we know you did it, tell us why you did it. That's when he's gonna open his mouth and be like, yo, she's been whooping my ass since she got me, or she's been sexually abusing me, or this, that, or the other. I don't see that happening until he, right now he thinks he got them faded. He thinks he's fooled everybody. Once they let him know that he didn't fool nobody, well shit, things might change. Salutes Mikey 01.
And she doesn't always deep sleep like I do. She's a restless sleeper. She hears everything, so she'll always get up.
The story's changing as we keep going. It just keeps changing and changing. Going from you talking about she went to, you heard her.
Okay.
You said you went to your room.
I'm confused.
You said you went to your room.
Yes.
You closed your door. You heard your mom walk to her room and close her door.
Right. She was doing
And then you went to sleep.
Yes, she was doing what she normally does, and then I went to sleep.
So then how you know she came out and went back in?
That was before I went to sleep.
Hold on. He's falling apart. I need to go back a little bit. He's falling apart. Let's see.
That time,
this is where we was at when we started talking. So let's see what
I
happens.
don't know what to do, and I didn't want to do something stupid or take it out. She bleeds to death or something.
Okay.
Detectives now believe that Carlos isn't being truthful. Given the severity of Denise's injury, it's implausible that she could still be breathing, as Carlos claimed. By that time, she would likely have already passed away. Investigators are now pressing Carlos for a thorough account of the events leading to his mother's death.
So your mom went to her room and now came out and went back to her room again?
Yeah, she does that all the time. She'll get up, get tea, she'll get up, get water, do whatever. And she doesn't always deep sleep like I do. She's a restless sleeper. She hears everything, so she'll always get up.
The story's changing as we keep going. It just keeps changing and changing. Going from you talking about she went to, you heard her.
Okay.
You said you went to your room.
I'm confused.
You said you went to your room.
Yes.
You closed your door. You heard your mom walk to her room and close her door.
Right, she was doing
And
what
then you
she
went to
normally
sleep.
does. Yes, she was doing what she normally does, and then I went to sleep.
So then how you know she came out and went back in?
That was before I went to sleep. I'm saying that I went to my room, closed my door, and I hear my mom doing what she normally does, goes to her room, and then she needs something, water. She usually gets water. Came out, got water, she went back to her room, never heard it up again. So I went to sleep.
Carlos's account has shifted within minutes. Initially, he claimed he went to his room and didn't hear anything due to background noise.
Now he hears
Now
everything.
he mentions hearing his mom leave the room to get water.
Got
So
too
you don't know if
detailed,
she
Papa.
left to go anywhere else or something.
I don't, I usually don't know.
Heavy sleeper.
Sleeper, I sleep on that side of the house. Her car's with the garage. It is.
And he said his
So I
mama's
usually
not a
can't
heavy
hear her,
sleeper.
Nor do I know. I usually have something playing in the background.
His narrative is inconsistent, and it seems he's attempting to
And it's a small inconsistency, man. They catch you on all of that. They watching for inconsistency. They're going to pop you on that inconsistency.
backtrack. When someone is speaking the truth, details are often clear and consistent. Conversely, when someone is lying, they might struggle to keep their story straight, leading to inconsistencies or added embellishments. Such discrepancies are clear
So he got 2 strikes. He doesn't seem upset about the death of his mother, and his story's becoming inconsistent.
warning signs for detectives.
So her room should have a cup of water in it.
I don't know what she got. I don't know. I was in my room. So I have no idea. That's just her usual routine. This is going off of what she normally does. Her everyday thing.
Her normal routine, but what did you actually hear?
I just heard her.
You can say I can normally tie my shoes, but you know, I don't mean I really had tied my shoes.
Well, she just went into the kitchen. I usually know she gets water because she gets dehydrated, and sometimes she doesn't bring it with her, so she'll drink it there. So she'll have her water cup next to her medicine, and she'll just get a drink and go back to bed, or do whatever. She'll get tea. I don't know because I'm in my room.
Bottled water is
It's in a jug. We fill our waters and we keep them in the fridge.
Let's step out for a minute. Just hang loose real quick.
No, let Shorty
About
stew.
50 minutes into the interview, both detectives step out of the interrogation
Damn, boy, you drop your head like that before they even leave the room? Gotta stay in character, stupid.
room, leaving Carlos Hallowell alone. After a roughly 20-minute break, the detectives return to the interrogation room, armed with fresh details. They've learned that several months earlier, Carlos had been reported to the authorities for assaulting his mother,
Aha.
striking her with such force that her arm was broken.
We have a history.
Not too long ago, you guys got into a little domestic. The cops were called.
Domestic? Oh, no. My mom and I sorted that out. That was completely gotten out of hand, and then my mom overreacted, I overreacted, and we talked about it after it happened and after I was out of the house.
Right. Was that before you left?
Here's the thing, man. People be out there judging, you know, these kids that look a certain way, right? These kids that wear this, these kids that hang out, do that. They might smoke a little bud. They're not judging these little football player, nice guy kids, well-spoken. They're not questioning them, and they're the ones at the crib axe handling their mamas.
After.
Before. And I wasn't doing well in school, and then we got into the argument, and she shoved, I shoved, back and forth, stuff like that.
Right.
It wasn't anything physical. It was just like, get out of my face, you get out of my face, get out of my face. This is just got yelling. It wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
She used to hit me pretty hard.
Boom.
Sometimes in the face, mostly in the back.
Boom.
Just anything she could grab.
There you go. There's the abuse. Now that they got him in the corner, now that they're bringing up their history, now they're bringing up what happened between them before, Shorty's getting a little looser with the, you know, she pushed me first and then I push her. You know, she used to hit me sometimes in the face, sometimes on my back, which hitting them on the back will show you that she's trying to hide the abuse that she's putting on them. It's a two-way street. Don't adopt no baby to be beating on them.
That was it.
So you have like a special bat or a stick or something there?
No.
Just for that?
No. It was just anything that was close by. If it was my keys, she'd whip me with my keys, and that's it. And after the years, that's just kind of took it because it's not really going to stop. But my mom's always been there for me still. So.
Is that the reason why you moved out?
Yeah. After I defended myself, I kind of had enough of it.
After I defended myself. Mind you, she had him since he was 4. You know, 4-year-olds do annoying shit. And if you're the type of person that's a hitter from the jump, mind you, you don't have your own children. You adopted. So if you're an adopter and you're already loose with your hands, you know, I could see her starting at 4 years old, him knocking something over and her knocking him down. Becomes a way of life for him. He becomes intellectually astute enough to know, oh wait, this is abuse. He knows internally as a man he wants to fight back and split her wig. They don't have he probably doesn't feel an emotional mom-son bond, being that, you know, they met when he was 4. And yeah, it got to this. So she was probably but you see what he said. He said, after I defended myself, because he knows they're on to that point and he wants to make it clear. He's just a little over clear and they're on top of his ass.
You talking about the keys deal?
Yes.
That was kind of like the last straw deal?
That was. And she wanted me out, and I officially moved out.
After he broke his mother's arm, which he claims was in self-defense.
Mind you, he didn't mention nothing about the broken arm. He said she shoved him first, he shoved her, and then it went to where it went. But he didn't mention nothing about no broken arm.
He left the house and stayed with friends for several months. During this period, he began taking medication for depression and started to stabilize. Only then did she let him return home.
My mom finally got me on antidepressants.
Taking those?
Prozac, yes. Take them every day.
Working?
Mm-hmm.
What did the doctor say that he was diagnosed with?
Depression.
Carlos claims that he and his mother patched things up and that he was welcomed home with open arms. In reality, Denise was terrified of him. She had CCTV installed because of his behavior. She didn't trust him and feared he might hurt her again.
Carlos, how often do you think it is that somebody's sitting in their house taking a nap or anything like that situation and some stranger comes in and kills them?
I don't know, but I will say this. I hope you're not insinuating I would do this. Because she adopted me from 4. She has been my mother, has been by my side.
What my inference is that rarely ever happens.
Okay.
That rarely ever happens, and what I'm trying to lead to is that
it was you.
99.9% of the time, it's a family member.
All right, so there's the grandparents. They look like they smacked up mom a couple of times. They probably wouldn't have allowed that brown boy in their family any when they were in their 30s and 40s.
Or a close friend, or
you don't know anybody,
or a lover, or something like that.
As the interview progresses, Carlos becomes increasingly unsettled. He has slowly realized that he has gone from being seen as a vulnerable child who has just lost his mother to a prime suspect in the investigation.
So I don't know what you guys are trying to get out of me right now, but I didn't do anything and would never do anything to my mother like that. As much as we used to bicker and...
This is where his acting has gone to shit. His acting has now become horrible, even worse than it was before. I mean, it was all right at the beginning, considering he's missing the emotional distress of a son losing his mother. But right now, he sounds like a little bitch.
And get back at each other, do anything. I'm trying to get out of me
What's
right now,
me?
but I didn't do anything and would never do anything to my mother like that. As much as we used to bicker and get back at each other, fighting sometimes, and then peace, and then back and forth, and then peace again, never in a million years would I ever think to do that. She's my mom. I was adopted at age 4, and I've been with her forever. And if you're insinuating that, I'm very offended by that.
They don't give a fuck.
Carlos remained calm and confident throughout the interrogation, presenting a composed demeanor. However, when faced with direct accusations, he begins to show signs of anger and concern, emotions one might have expected to see from the very beginning.
You're putting on a pretty good show.
A show?
Yeah, you're putting on a really good show.
A show?
Yeah.
How's this a show?
I remember the whole interviews with you back when all this went down.
You remember that?
Yeah, I was in charge of the major crimes unit then.
Okay.
So
He pulled an ace on your ass. He's like, I remember you, shorty. Can I see those videos? I want to see those videos, though.
And I remember the CPT talking about how your attitude of things were very sociopathic.
Sociopathic?
Which is exactly what you're showing me right
Yeah, exactly. Repeating a word with a question mark after it. Sociopathic? Putting on a show? How? Fuck out of here.
and you're trying to act like you're upset about something.
Trying hard as hell. Look at him. See? Trying, question mark.
How is this trying? That was my mom. My mother.
Shorty, shut the fuck up.
Trying. How is this trying?
Because you don't feel like normal people feel.
Show's
I don't
over.
feel like normal people feel.
Yeah, that's what a sociopath has the issues with.
Okay,
You try to.
So you're calling me a sociopath?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. This is what sociopaths do.
Do what?
I've just been sizing you up the whole time. Okay, it's like 100%.
Okay, you can size me up.
You don't have normal feelings.
You can size me up all you want. I do have normal feelings. I loved my mom. Ask anybody.
Except to your mom. Ask anybody but your
DCF,
mom.
and DCF's gonna have to figure out where you go.
To my mom. Ask anybody.
Okay, it's like 100%.
Wow.
You
Little
don't
piece
have
of shit.
normal feelings.
You can size me up all you want. I do have normal feelings. I loved my mom. Ask anybody in this county.
We're gonna release you to DCF, and DCF's gonna have to figure out where you go.
Okay. When am I being released to DCF?
I think I just told you it takes a little while. We're gonna release you to DCF, and DCF's gonna have to figure out where you go.
Okay. When am I being released to DCF?
I think I just told you it takes a little while. Alright?
How old is
So
this
almost-
kid?
it's gonna be a bit.
17?
The police don't have enough evidence to hold Carlos any longer, especially since he is a 17-year-old minor. Detectives couldn't conclusively link Carlos to his mother's murder, so they were forced to send him home.
Wow.
Hi.
No fingerprints.
How are you?
This kid was that slick. It's an axe handle, for Christ's sake.
As they searched for definitive proof, Carlos took to social media to grieve and invite friends to her memorial. He received numerous comforting responses during his period of sorrow.
He gonna mess
9
up.
weeks after his mother's murder, Carlos was invited back into the interrogation room. The detective started by telling him that there were inconsistencies in his account.
I was just from second hallway. I came in days later, so I'm still catching up on some of the stuff we've had. Alright, so you never went in the backyard at all. You just went inside, seen your mom. Your phone was already on you at that point?
Yeah. Like always, it's easy.
Okay. And then you walked outside and called 911.
I called when I was there. I was in the room when I called.
Okay. On your phone itself, it also tracks your GPS locations, so you can track your entire tracker in your yard. Because you were on the phone 911 for a few minutes, correct?
Yeah.
So it tracks everywhere you went. It says you were down by the lake area
Treated yourself.
at that time while you were in that whole time frame from when you called 911 on.
I didn't go down by the lake. I could see it. I didn't go down there.
You know we have a dive team, right? And then we searched the entire lake behind it. Have we found anything else that you think? Nothing else?
Probably old hooks, fishing poles.
The detective unveils a box
Smart
filled
mouth.
with evidence. Immediately, one can see that Carlos is feeling a surge of anxiety.
Does that look familiar to you? I know it's taken apart.
Is that the camera that's hanging up?
That was outside?
Yeah, it's facing towards the.
I was gonna ask where the cameras at. So he tossed the cameras, the setup.
Yeah, it's just okay, then yeah, it's one of the ones that are facing towards the.
It's a move out. What do you think we were found?
One?
No.
There's only one in the house.
No, you know there's no one in the house. There's 3 cameras in the house.
Yeah.
I found 3 cameras in the house. Actually, found 1.
Upon inspecting his phone, the detective discovered that Carlos was near the lake when he phoned the police, contradicting his
Technology foiled your plan again, motherfucker. Technology. I called from my mama's room, but realistically, he was down by the lake. You tweaked.
claim of being in Denise's room. This prompted further investigation into his activities at the lake, leading them to deploy a diving team for an exhaustive search. Shortly thereafter, detectives found Denise's disconnected CCTV cameras and her mobile phone discarded in the lake behind the Hallowell residence.
Your mom's phone, down by the lake. 3 cameras, down by the lake.
Okay.
You see how this is stacking up?
I understand. But I'm still.
And the only way I can help you is if you come up front and say, we got a fight, there was a total accident, something like that. If that's what happened, then tell me the truth. I need to know that because I can't help you without that.
Right.
Because without that, it's just something horrible got done, and you don't care about it.
Well, no, I definitely do care about it. I'm fairly pissed. It's just, it's not.
Because I can only follow the evidence I have.
I
I didn't
understand.
hit you before.
I'm fairly pissed. For
I
what?
understand.
They
but
caught you,
I don't-
stupid?
There's nothing that happened where we got into a fight. There was nothing at all. That's
Nah,
the thing.
you just smashed her with an
Perfect
axe.
day. We were fine. I don't remember anything bad going on that day. It was all just okay.
What we're trying to get at, like I said, it's been about 2 months, a little over 2 months.
I think so.
We've been working at this little job. We're trying to get justice for you.
I don't remember what happened at all. From when, like, dogs, from the dogs barking to finding my.
You didn't find
Once I
nothing but
found
the
my
axe,
mom,
boy.
I did panic. Like, really bad. Because mom's there, panicked, and just grabbed the one that's facing the front door. I grabbed the phone, I grabbed the thing, the one that was up there. I knew about that. I used the bones up, and it ended up being mine. I thought that it was. And then I called either before or after that.
You know why
No.
somebody would throw cameras and cell phone.
Well, of course, to hide. To hide it, but I completely panicked.
How many times did you go down by the lake?
I think once.
You want us to throw the phone and the 3 cameras out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know if I did it or if what happens.
Oh, it was a blackout murder. Ah, good one.
So you don't remember who did it?
A lot of motherfuckers use that one.
You see what it looks like, though, right?
Yes, I do.
You know, people that black out when they drink, y'all strange to me, man. Y'all very strange to me. That's a weird thing to have. Dangerous, very dangerous thing. If you black out, you don't remember hours, even minutes. You know what I'm saying? You probably shouldn't drink.
I know, I understand it now. That was the biggest thing that's been weighing on my chest was that I did panic and I see what
So he copped into the cameras and the phone.
So that's what's been bothering me. How much that I don't know. I don't remember.
You realize it. I need more than that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to do that.
He don't
I
remember,
do. I
y'all.
know. I understand, and I
your
just don't
defense.
know. I don't remember whatsoever what happened, what really happened between from when I woke up to then.
But your phone doesn't want to show you to.
Police now reveal to Carlos that his mobile phone data shows he never took a nap, contrary to his initial statement.
They were like, bro, you was on Facebook, you was on Twitter. Bro, this digital fingerprint, yo, it got us by the ankles. Real talk. So this fool talking about he was taking a nap. I remember, I woke up, then I blacked out. Boy, you was on Facebook.
With his entire story now dismantled, he decides to tell the truth.
Okay. I remember being outside at the shed and grabbing the axe. But other than that, it's been.
Now he remembers that.
That's
A
it.
second ago, he didn't remember none of it from when he woke up. Now he remembers grabbing the axe.
That's all I remember. Which is why I also panicked, because I remember the last thing I did was grab the axe.
There's no doubt that you did it. It's just why.
Right, I definitely say that. I want to know that too, because I don't remember any argument whatsoever. because I remember sharpening the axe, and then so it's in the back of her head.
Right there, he just did himself dirty. He just put himself into a premeditated murder. Because a murder of passion, yeah, he grabs the axe, he smashes her, cool. He went and sharpened that axe. That right there just lets you know you had plenty of time to change your mind. You had plenty of times to get yourself in check. But you sharpened that bad boy up real good. And as much of a deep sleeper as you said she wasn't, she slept through that whack with that thing. So you just did yourself in, little I don't remember buddy. Little I don't remember boy.
So did you do right after you, when you sharpened the axe, you walked in the house with that right afterwards? I still need to know, because I gotta be definite on this. I don't like, you can't.
I don't have an exact memory of it, so I don't want to say.
Okay, the best your memory.
Best of my memory, walked in the house with the axe, with not the intent of doing that. I don't know if something was said. Because usually I try to talk to her. I'll say, "Hey mom, get up. We gotta go to work." Or, "Hey mom, we gotta do something." So I don't know if I did that and she made a remark that kind of pushed me over the edge, or if it just all played through.
So after you hit her with the axe, is that when you called 911 right after?
Immediately.
Right after you hit her?
Right after I went, bam, phone, 911, checked her breathing, pulse.
You lying. You went to the lake.
As soon as I saw blood running through her,
You threw everything out.
so then it was just
You feel better now?
Tweak the story
a
again.
little bit, but I still feel like a piece.
After confessing to the murder of his mother, the investigators were still puzzled about the motive.
She was very verbally abusive, and I remember, I do remember being in tears by the time they had that conversation. She backed it up with like strong adjectives and then strong emotions, with like, "I'm so disappointed in you," which I've heard that before. Okay, blah blah. And then she's like, "You beat him." That's why it's like, okay, chill out. And then she kept going, kept going.
Yeah, she been abusing that
When I'm
boy.
punching something, or I'm using the axe, or whatever, I play the things that my mom's has done, and I just get the frustration out of that. I'm like, okay, mom said this. I visualize what she said in a paragraph, and I just beat it.
Although Carlos explained why he killed his mother, he still seemed disconnected from the
Super
severity
disconnected.
of his actions.
How long are we going to be here?
I know it's wrong. You're next to me.
Okay, to take me
You go to our jail here and then transfer for Ocala.
to jail?
Yeah. The jail here is just for processing. You go to DJJ up to Ocala.
I have a record now.
Oh, you
Record?
You can't run up what happened. But you have a reason for what happened?
Well, no, I mean, like, is there any way of getting it extended later?
That's what
Hey, see, now this kid think he got a future. He thinks he's good. Now after all this, and how many? It was 2 months later. I hope he didn't have a birthday, because at what point is he adult? And do they charge him as an adult, or do they charge him from the age that he did that shit?
Of course. I don't have things against it, but it's of course.
I just hope that this doesn't really affect too much, because it's still college.
It's all up to the court.
Carlos Hallowell
You
was
dead at
charged
that
with
opportunity,
premeditated
homie.
first-degree murder.
Yeah, there's no, he's delusional. He think he going to college. Yeah, you going to college, that's what they call it.
I just hope that this doesn't really affect too much, because it's still college.
It's all up to the court.
Carlos Hallowell was charged with premeditated first-degree
Yeah,
murder.
Premeditated.
He was not eligible for the death penalty due to his age, but he was tried as an adult. In July 2021, Carlos Hallowell was found guilty of the first-degree murder of his adopted mother, Denise, and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of
That
parole.
boy done got his face tatted up. He's accepted his he accepted who he is in the joint, evidently. But yeah, that's an all too familiar story, or all too common story, that these people adopt these kids and abuse them and shit. You know what I'm saying? Look at them kids that they drove off that mountain and shit like that. Like, we'll get to that story eventually. But it's most of the time there's another side. Well, all the time there's another side to the story, but It wasn't cut and dry. She was abusing that kid from 4 years old. She didn't start slapping him and taking her anger out on him, when he was a teenager. She started that shit early. So as soon as she got him out the box that she ordered him in, or the plastic, whatever, she bought Buddy, and she just took out the frustrations of her teacher ass in the woods life, Crazy.